situations again, because I might be tempted. Always get me into these situations again, because I might be tempted. I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love with everything. I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love with everything but me. But me. Do you need anything like I need you? It's over. Do you need anything like I need you? I've got no place to be alone, my friend. He cut his wrist instead. There's your answer. You better save yourself, or else nothing like success. I would rather be in hell than regret. Do you need anything like I need you? It's over. Oh, do you need anything like I need you? No, I do. But denial, these are not my words. Tell me, where am I? Most of the time, wet my face with reality and permit me to breathe before I do it again. Do you need anything like I need you? It's over. Oh, do you need anything like I need you? Do you need anything like I need you? It's over. Oh, do you need Happy Halloween? Let's go. Can you guess what I am? Let's go. Oh, let's go, baby. Let's get it. Come on. Here we go. Do you need anything Do you need anything like I need you? It's over. Do you need anything like I need you? You want to see my pick-em-up truck? Let's go. Oh shit. You can thank Jenny. She came up with the costume. Tonight, we're all gonna kick some shit. Dude, let's go. All right. Dude, I borrowed this one from RFK Jr. Let's go. Dude, he had an extra one. Dude! We got the Dick Strange shirt. I'm only wearing it for an hour though, because by then I'll probably be hot as shit, and Halloween's gonna be over. Dude, RFK's underwear. Dude, please don't bring up RFK's underwear. For the love of God. All right, dude, how we living? Hey, I just want to change the world. I just want the perfect girl. I don't want to hang around, I'd rather be found. It gets better, I wonder, my pleasure together. Everyone's waiting, anticipating. I will never be alone again. I'm immune to the things they said. My heart's unbreaking. You're radiant truth. I know that you will understand, because I finally found myself. My heart's unbreaking. You're radiant. Let's go. All right. Dude, how we doing? Dude, I hate to say this. I kind of like the hat, bro. I do. I could get used to this, bro. No kids came through your neighborhood? Dude, we turned our light off. Normally we do Halloween. This year we did not. This year we fucking... We didn't do it. I'm immune to the things they said. I know music's playing. We're not talking about politics yet. We're still reveling in the music. We're reveling in the beautiful music. All right, so we're gonna watch that fucking... We're gonna watch a little bit of Anna talking about the Nick Fuentes. I do want to look at that. All right, we are definitely gonna look at fucking the Cat Abu, like Tera Palmeri interview, which I'm intrigued about, right? Because you know that Tera is like Miss Epstein, okay? And yet, I don't know, there's something about her that is weird, where like, you know how sometimes people are like, it's a little hard to place their politics. I feel like Tera Palmeri is that type of person, right? You know what I mean?
where, you know, what I mean? Like, where, you know, I mean, like, John Fetterman is a classic example, right? What are that dude's politics? Dude, that dude's politics are like whatever increases John Fetterman's fucking bank account, right? You know? You know what I mean? You know, some of these fucking people, right? Dude, Fetterman is he's Dane Bramaged. Dude, he is Dane Bramage. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like Tera Palmeri is something, she is a little bit like that. Dude, Erica Kirk. Dude, Erica Kirk is fucking, she's in love with the cash register. All right? So we're going to look at that. We're going to look at Kat Abu and fucking Tera Palmeri. We are going to look at Anna and the Fetterman thing. And then, guys, there's two things. One, I saw somebody talking about in chat. One, we're going to look at Nancy Mace because Nancy Mace had a fucking meltdown, bro. Miss Republican running for the governorship of South Carolina had a meltdown. And apparently she was screaming at the fucking police at the airport, pulling the, like, do you have any idea who I am? How dare you treat a U.S. representative like this, right? Which, I mean, can we all see Nancy Mace doing it? And then the other thing, right? The other thing I want to look at is this. This is the thing I saw talking about in chat, guys. And you know why? Because I have a brother who is in this fucking church, guys. Okay? I lived next to an Assembly of God church. I used to play football on their field. I would go out there and punt the football all the time. In 8th grade, the whole congregation like had this feverish thing, speaking in tongues. They pulled me up on the stage and everyone surrounded me and laid hands on me. They like tried very deeply to get me into the congregation of this church. My brother and his wife are in there. And I had a sister who was in this that went and lived in Eureka Springs, Arkansas. 50 years. They found this church sexually abusing people and then covering it up, letting the guys back into the congregation. So we're going to look at this too. This is nuts, bro. This is insane, dude. It is wild. All right? Yeah. So we're going to have a full night. Dude, we're bang bang. All right? We're going bang bang. All right? Right? It's perfect. And yes, we're going to be tinfoil hatting it, but only until the clock strikes midnight. All right? All right. All right. Church was crazy. Your youth minister was one of the transferred. Dude, look at Chaotic Noise. Chaotic Noise said, church was crazy. My youth minister was definitely one of the transferred diddlers. Oh, shit. No cap. I kind of wish it was cap, though, Chaotic, but I feel you, boss. Oh, dude. I mean, let me just tell you this. I mean, if you took all the diddlers out of the church congregations, there wouldn't be anybody left in church. Let me just put it to you that way, dude. Right? If you took all the diddlers out of the church congregation, it would be like a Dean Phillips press conference. Right? It'd be like a 𝗙𝗪𝗎 campaign rally, bro. Oh, shit, dude. That's all you'd have. You'd have like 5 people out in the audience. Dude, oh, shit. 𝗙𝗪𝗎 campaign rally. Dude, I've seen more people in a fucking, right? I've seen more people in an 18 and under bingo parlor than at a 𝗙𝗪𝗎 fucking campaign event. Oh, shit. All right. So yeah, we got some shit, dude. You ready? I'm ready. All right. Dude, let's go. Oh, shit. We should probably watch a little bit of that Joe Rogan, Elon Musk. Dude, Tony says, dude, it warms my heart that you are warming up to Cenk 2028 and the potential. Dude, I mean, bro, don't you all feel the potential of Cenk 2028, right? You know? I mean, I think we're all there, dude. I can feel it. I can feel it like a butt dagger. Oh, you know when you get the butt dagger? Oh, where you're like, God damn, bro. What the fuck, dude? Did I eat a switchblade for lunch or or what, dude? Dude, it's like a cold sore being removed with a pair of needle nose pliers. That's what I think of when I think of Cenk Uygur's political career. I think of removing a cold sore with a pair of needle nose pliers. Dude, Cenky! Oh, shit. Dude, now, I will say this, though. We're going to have to get really big because I am telling you, nobody's ever going to, like, interview with me because I'm so irreverent unless we get really big. So we're gonna have to blow this fucking channel up, boss. All right, it's going to be our only choice. All right, you ready? Let's get into it. See, I mean, this is the kind of shit, though, right? Because look at this, okay? Before we look at the Cat Abu thing, right? Look at what she titles these videos, okay? Can we just look at how these videos get titled, right? You know what I'm saying? Because look at this. David Hogg rages against the Democratic machine. James Carville versus David Hogg. Epic clash, right? Laura Loomer on how she scalped Mike Waltz. So she's like kind of like giving Laura Loomer some power, like she took this guy out, right? Should Biden world Democrats fear Lindy Lee? You know what I mean? Like, her videos are all very right-wing coded, okay? They're all very right-wing coded, mostly, you know? You know what I'm saying? I mean, she kind of, will do a little bit of the, she does the Epstein stuff, but a lot of her shit is right-wing coded, okay? A lot of it has a little bit of that right-wing coding. And I've noticed this before, and so normally I only really watch her around the Epstein stuff. And usually with the Epstein stuff too, I kind of cut her out of it, right? I'll use her sort of research and shit, right? Because I don't like these kinds of channels that are, where you can't tell somebody's politics, okay? Like, I believe that in today's world, when one of the political parties is hiding the Epstein files, attacking immigrants, indiscriminately firing missiles into fishing boats, right? Corruption on every fucking thing, right? Corruption on every level. You have to let people know where your politics are. And the fact that she says here, right, no bias, no agenda, that's bullshit. Everyone has a bias. There is no such thing as a person without bias. You have bias. Everybody has a bias. And when you have one side that is, fighting for civil rights and one side that it wants mass marauders on the streets, You're telling me you don't have a bias? Bullshit. Okay? When one side is the Trump MAGA extremism, you have a bias. Okay? You have a fucking bias, right? And you're right. She is biased towards trying to take money like equally from both sides, right? You know what I'm saying? But this is bullshit. You have a bias. Everybody's got an agenda. Everyone has an agenda, guys. And you know what's interesting though, guys? You ready? I got to pause here because even with her Epstein coverage, you know what just hit me? Something I got a shiver up my neck. And you know what it was, guys? It was when Tera Palmeri covered Virginia Giuffre's new book. Okay? Now, Tera Palmeri did this interview the other day. Bear with me. Tera Palmeri went on the road with Virginia Giuffre and was like a reporter hanging out with her in the beginning of, you know, her Virginia's like coming out with this story. Okay. And Tera Palmeri kind of like leached onto that and started her career through Virginia Giuffre. But when Tera Palmeri was on the news just a week ago, she was on CNN. I believe it was Aaron Burnett. Tera Palmeri explicitly said, you know what? Virginia she wasn't killed. She definitely committed suicide. Remember? Like Tera Palmeri was like, you know, Virginia was really going through tough times. She was like absolutely, you know, like being very adamant about there's no way that Virginia Giuffre was killed. Okay, now we don't really know what goes on, but there's a lot of suspicion. A lot of people that knew her were kind of like, yeah, man, I don't really see it. But Tera Palmeri was running cover for the Virginia killed herself angle like 2 weeks ago, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, and at the time, I thought, you know, maybe Tera knew her better because Tera went on the road with her or something. Maybe Tera really has some inside information. But I'm telling you guys, now, you know, I'm seeing that I think there is a bias. There is an agenda. There's a right-wing coding here, okay, in the fucking thing. Look at the comments of what? Of this video? Look at the comments of this video. You know what I'm saying? Now, here's what's interesting about this, okay? So here's what's interesting about this. You ready? Let me just tell you. Yeah, one thing you appreciate, direct about your bias existing, refer to in a direct way. Well, yeah, I mean, the thing is, guys, is this idea that unbiased journalists exist or whatever, that's bullshit. Everybody has a bias. There's no such thing as unbiased, right? The only time you're unbiased is if you're biased against both sides and you're trying to carve away in the middle in order to achieve some sort of superiority or distance yourself from both sides. But you always have a bias, okay? You do. You have a bias. You have a bias in everything. Even if you have, like, you know, if you have 2 kids, one of them's your favorite, okay? You know, it's true, all right? If you have 2 kids, one of them gonna be your favorite. There's a bias, okay? There is. I mean, dude, I was in a family of 7 kids. I could tell who the favorite was of my parents. It was me. And it was real fucking obvious, okay? Their bias. You know, and people say, oh, there's not. But dude, there just is. You know what I'm saying? Like, there is a fucking, you know, everybody's got a bias. And we all have an agenda. If you're doing media, you have a fucking agenda. Jesus, I'm hot. Hold on, let me turn on my fan, bro. I'm not sure how long I'm gonna make it in the jacket. Dude, you like the jacket? Look at that, bro. This jacket is actually pretty pimp, dude. If you had 2 kids, you'd try to be equally disappointed. in both of them. See, the funny thing is, you ready for this, guys? You go into media because you have an agenda, guys. That's why you go into it, okay? People go into media and content and journalism because they have a fucking agenda. That's the whole point, right? Otherwise, you don't go into it. If you don't have an agenda, you go and get a job in an office somewhere. You go get some job with no fucking point of view. When you get into a thing with a POV, whether it's art, acting, journalism, whatever, if you get into something with a POV, anything with a POV, you have a fucking agenda, okay? Right? Like, come on, man. All of it. I mean, journalists have an agenda too. Journalists may have an agenda of like holding power to accountability, right? Trying to like, you know, make sure, you know, people in power are accountable. People in power are held to a higher standard. Like everybody has a fucking agenda, right? Everybody does. But now, right now, in this day and age, if you don't fucking say your politics, you're suspect, okay? You are suspect because you have to choose a side now, okay? It is like civil war. It is like one side is like saying the other side is demons. So if you're on the side that thinks we're all demons, you damn well need to identify yourself, right? Or you need a GTFO. Dude, Nick Shirley. Yeah, Nick Shirley is like a Benny Johnson meat rider, I think, boss. I think. All right. Anyway, now we're getting into this. All I'm going to say is I haven't seen this interview yet, but here's one thing I want to say, just starting here, okay? Before we get into this, can I just say this one thing? Is that, like, this title, okay? I like 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. I do. I love her. I've liked her coverage of Fox News from the beginning. I was an early supporter of her on TikTok ages ago, long before I was even a political streamer, okay? Dude, I've always loved her, all right? I have, dude. I think she's great, okay? She's feisty. She's got that AOC kind of energy, right? Where she's like a young, like, you know, whatever woman who's not feeling like she needs to be proper all the time. You know what I'm saying? She can, like, I don't know, she can behave like a guy sometimes, and she doesn't fucking care, okay? And I like that. I like that energy from women, okay? Where they don't feel like they have to live up to some antiquated standard of femininity. But let me just say this title here, okay? This title here, 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 walks out of my interview after I ask her about her indictment. It's like, why is Tera Palmeri asking about the indictment? Like, Kat got indicted, a bullshit thing by ICE and the federal government. She's not going to talk about that. Like, what the fuck? That is like brain dead. That is like trying to get her to say something that can be held against her later. Like, fuck you, Tera, you fucking right-wing coded clown. Why are you even asking her about that shit? Like, nobody's going to talk about their goddamn indictment, like, in the middle of this shit. That would be fucking stupid. It would jeopardize her whole shit. And the fact that Tera even asked her about this, and I'm getting the feeling that Tera asked her and she didn't say anything, and Tera probably continued asking her. It's like, that's the right-wing coding, guys. That's where we know that this woman here is a right-wing coded fucking, right? She's trying to trash on 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 the same way she trashes on Democrats in all her fucking video titles, okay? And now we know she's running cover for the whole Virginia committed suicide thing too, which puts her suspect as well. So now we're going to start looking into Tera, all right? I'm going to put another tinfoil hat on my research animal. All right, I'm going to get my opossum that heads my research department. I'm going to put a tinfoil hat on him. We're going to start looking into this fucking shithead. All right, double tin, baby. Dude, she is sus. Okay, she is, dude. All right, you ready? I'm ready. Dude, I actually like the hat, bro. I feel like this is a good look, dude. Dude, don't you? Maybe I'm going to wear this all the time, boss. This is going to be my new look. Ah. Yeah, no, Matt, I'm with you, dude. I fucking feel the vibes. All right, you ready? Let's go. Let's get into it.
Congressional candidate. I just had a shocking live interview with a congressional candidate.
Dude, I just had a shocking live interview with a congressional candidate because I am such a dumb, right-wing coded, very big agenda idiot that I decided to ask somebody under indictment multiple times, probably, about her indictment. And then, oh my God, I was so shocked when she ran away, when she decided, I'm not going to fucking talk to you because you're a disingenuous piece of shit, Tera Palmeri. Dude, is it really shocking, Tera? Then you're dumber than we thought you were. Like, bro, dude, all right, you ready? We got to do a dance party goal, dude. It's Halloween. We got to fucking dance, boss. All right, let's get in here. I'm putting it 1 hour. There it is. There it is, people. Let's go. We're going to dance. We're going to dance on fucking Tera Palmeri's career. Dude, she is desperate, bro. She is desperate for views, dude. Dude, I don't like this woman already, boss. I'm serious, right? All right, here we go. Here we go.
𝗏𝗏𝗡. She walked out mid-conversation. I know. It's crazy.
See, I don't find it crazy. Dude, it's not crazy. She's under indictment. You're fucking nosing around jeopardizing her case. That's not crazy. You're an idiot. Okay? All right. We're going to let her go.
If you're online, you probably know her. She's 26 years old, and she built a really big following with her sharp, funny videos. She worked at Media Matters and Mother Jones, and she had, these segments like, I watched Tucker Carlson, so you don't have to. It's a style that made her a progressive star. Now she's running for Congress in Illinois' 9th district. She's one of a pretty large pack of candidates. There are about 13, but she was second in the race, and she's rising, especially because this week she was in the headlines. She was indicted for her role in a protest outside of an ICE facility. The charges are serious: conspiracy to impede or injure a federal officer, and forcibly impeding, intimidating, or interfering with a federal enforcement officer while engaged in official duties.
See, these charges are bullshit. Okay? Look at the charges. There's a protest. A bunch of protesters are standing in front of the car, okay? And they singled out the ones that have notoriety, okay? And I mean, dude, if you look at it, look at the group of people here.
Or interfering.
There's like 50 fucking people there blocking this car, okay? And listen to the way Tera's even saying it. Dude, at this point, we know that Tera is compromised, guys. She's a right-wing plant, guys. Tera is compromised because they didn't charge all these people. It's a fucking protest, bro. You're standing in front of a car. You're not harming anyone. No one's threatened. Dude, this is fucking bullshit. See, Canal, here's the deal, boss. Okay, Canal. So the thing about it is this. Is the way she's presenting this is phony. She's presenting this like these are serious charges. These are not serious charges. This is more of the bullshit Pam Bondi sandwich thrower shit, okay? Or like the indictment of Congressman McIver in New Jersey. This is bullshit, okay? And again, a real journalist knows that if you're under federal indictment and you have an active trial, they're not going to ask you questions about that. Or if they do and you say, look, I can't talk about that shit, they're going to leave it alone. I mean, they know that you have you're in the middle of a fucking court case. Like, come on, man. But this intro is a con, okay? This intro is presenting this like 𝗏𝗏𝗡𝗏 did this really serious thing with these ICE people. Dude, this is bullshit. This is a hit job. You know what I'm saying? This is a hit
with
job.
a federal enforcement officer while engaged in official duties. The indictment alleges that she and others surrounded a federal officer's vehicle, banged on the hood and windows, and etched the word pig on the side.
Look at her. Banged on the windows and etched the word pig on the side. Dude, fuck this woman. Dude, this woman, Tera, you are a fucking clown, bro. You are a clown, dude. Did you see how serious she said that? Banged on the hood and etched the word pig in the side. Oh my God, 50 years. Etched it with what? What did they bring out? A jewelry engraver and fucking... Dude, look at her face. Look at her fucking face, bro. Oh my God, that's the thumbnail right there, dude. Tera Palmeri found some poopy in her pants, dude. Jesus. Dude, look at that. Dude, she looks like she found a soiled undies. All right, here we go.
I wanted to give her a chance to tell her side of the story. So I asked very basic questions. How she's feeling, what happened that day, what the charges mean for her campaign, and whether this could affect her ability to serve in Congress. It's pretty straightforward journalism. But halfway through the conversation, she abruptly ended the interview and walked off. It was shocking and telling.
Dude, it's not shocking. Dude, Bernie Sanders walked out of an interview when the guy was asking Beltway stuff. Dude, you remember Bernie? Where Bernie said, I'm not going to do the whole Beltway fucking drama shit. And the reporter did it. And Bernie just took his shit off and was like, fuck you. I'm out of here. Right? Of course. Because, dude, this whole video, though, is a right-wing fucking hit job, bro. The way she presented this shit. You know what I'm saying?
If we kept going, I would have asked her more about how this is being seen as an infringement on free speech and the administration going after its political enemies. I also wanted to talk to her about her campaign, why she's running, what she hopes to change. But of course I had to.
No, you know what it is, Matt? So the thing is Tera Palmeri, her channel says no bias, no agenda, but Tera Palmeri is a right-wing coded content creator who presents herself as no bias, no agenda, but she definitely is right-wing coded. I mean, it's obvious, just the way she's presenting it, right? It's right-wing coded because we know the cat indictment is just like MacIver. It is just like the sandwich thrower. It's just like wanting to give somebody who keyed at Tesla 50 years. It's more of this Pam Bondi political theater intimidation shit. You know what I'm saying, dude? Let's go. Indy, let's go, baby. Thank you for the fucking thing. She has a First Amendment right also. Liars, who does? Who has a First Amendment right? Tera Palmeri? Yeah, I mean, the thing about this, though, is Tera Palmeri can ask whatever she wants. But if she's doing a right-wing coded hit job, the subject can get up and walk out, too. Right? You don't have to sit there and answer a fucking somebody who's a bullshit artist questions, somebody who says, I have no agenda, no bias, but here, let me fucking show you my agenda and bias. But let's see. Let's see her fair and balanced questions, you know?
To ask her about the breaking news. I'm a journalist. Now, she did tell me in advance.
But again, I'm just saying the setup here is Tera, this whole setup is like portraying Kat Abu Ghazaleh as somebody who really broke the law and is in danger, has these serious charges against her. And that's not true. That is absolutely not true.
Ask her about the breaking news. I'm a journalist. Now, she did tell me in advance that she couldn't go deep into it because it's an ongoing legal matter, but she could have just said that. I can't comment on this directly, but I can say and what she wants to say. I have dealt with this so many times.
I mean, just even the way Tera's talking here is pretty fucking scummy. Oh, she could have just said, she did say, she could have just said like, oh, I can't talk about it, but it is so shocking. Dude. Dude. All right.
But no questions are off limits, especially not for people seeking higher office. I have to say, her reaction gave me deja vu. It brought me back to that Katie Porter moment from just a few weeks ago. She is the
see,
former
there we
congresswoman
go.
from Orange County who won.
Dude, they're all after the progressives.
To be governor of California, and then she just walks out on a local news reporter asking basic accountability questions. If you've been following...
Yeah, it's interesting because when are we going to see Tera Palmeri really put the screws to like Donald Trump, right? Let's see you put the screws to some of these right-wing liars, okay? Like you want to do to 𝗏𝗏𝗡𝗏 and Katie Porter.
The Tera Palmeri Show or the Red Letter at @terapalmeri.com, where you can get all of my exclusive reporting. You know that I don't play for either side. I am a truly independent journalist. No corporate overlords, and it may not always be fashionable being independent, but it is essential. I just ask the questions that matter. So watch what happened, decide for yourself, and let me know in the comments. Was this a bad judgment call or a politician avoiding accountability? Let's roll the tape.
All right, let's see.
Live? Yeah, we're
live.
We are live. Well, Kat, welcome. This is 𝗏𝗏𝗡𝗏, and I hope I said your name correctly.
You nailed it first try.
Woo-hoo, yay. And welcome to the Tera Palmeri Show on YouTube and the Red Letter on Substack. Kat is running for Congress in Illinois' 9th district, and you've probably seen her on her social media accounts. She's blown up. She's a social media star. But most recently, you've had a lot of drama, you could say. I'm sure you're in a state of shock, but how are you feeling ever since you found out that you've been charged with 2 counts of conspiracy to impede or injure an ICE officer and assaulting or impeding an officer while engaged in official duties? And then the charges also mention property damage and obstruction. How are you feeling right now? What's going on through your head?
Yeah, I can tell you that when I started this year, first off, I didn't even think I'd be running for Congress, but I definitely didn't think I'd be federally indicted. I've covered the right for a long time. You talked about my social media accounts. The reason those are big in the first place is because of my reporting covering the right. And so I'm not surprised at what we're seeing. It's exactly what I and my colleagues have warned Democratic leaders about for years. And
see, look at Tara's face, guys. Look at her face. Like, you see her face? Her face is not neutral. Okay? She's got a furrowed brow. She's got a like stern sort of like concerned, like you broke the law. I mean, just hold on. Let me just show you here. Okay? Let me just show you. Let's just look here for a sec, okay?
The Tera Palmeri Show on...
Because... All right? Because the face, okay? We go in here and look at her covering... Look at her covering Laura Loomer. Look at her covering Laura Loomer, guys. Right? Look at her face with Laura Loomer. All right? I mean, you see, even the lighting is different, okay? But look at her with Kat, right? It's like the lighting is different. She's back. She's flat. She's got that concerned fucking face. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like here she's all like inquisitive, talking to Laura Loomer. Like, oh, tell me your story, Laura Loomer, right? Who is like a racist, transphobic, psychotic, like outrageous person. And then with Kat, she's lit, much more blown out. She looks concerned and furrowed brow and like, ooh, right? And guys, these are production choices that were made like that. You know what I'm saying? These are production choices that were made. I'm telling you, this is a fucking, like, there was an angle here. Okay, now we'll watch this, but this is really, even the way she's talking, okay? The way she's talking, I know, the right freeze frame. I know, dude, Kat doesn't look good in that freeze frame. But, like, I'm telling you, I've watched enough of Tera Palmeri's content, okay, to fucking see her when, let's see if she's like, look at this one where she's talking about 𝗦𝘂𝗽𝗎, right? Look at her with 𝗦𝘂𝗽𝗎. Remember this? Again, we watched this one, okay? And she did call out 𝗦𝘂𝗽𝗎, but look at her with 𝗦𝘂𝗽𝗎, dude. She's like inquisitive, neutral. There's not like this weird fucking, you know, furrowed brow judgment. I mean, we reported on this one, right? But she's like much more open and fucking, you know what I'm saying? I mean, dude, it is very obvious what she's doing here. That from the very beginning, right? This is, guys, this is the first question. The very first question for Kat. She's already like, I'm so concerned. Oh, all right, here we go.
Part of the reason that we're here in the first place is those warnings not being heeded, but it is surreal to be the person on the indictment, especially because my name is really long.
What do you think about those charges, though? They seem really serious. Conspiracy to impede or injure an ICE officer, assaulting or impeding that officer.
Dude, really? They seem really serious. Really? They're standing around a car. Like, come on, bro.
Those are pretty big charges.
The charges, I think they're actually like slightly different, but no matter what the charges are in the indictment, I plan on pleading not guilty. And this is a political prosecution, plain and simple. It's an effort to criminalize free speech, an effort to criminalize free association, and an effort to criminalize the very act of protest. And so we're going to be pleading not guilty, and the evidence will come out in court, and I fully plan on winning.
Yeah, just to be clear, the indictment alleges that you and others, quote, surrounded a federal officer's vehicle, banged on its hood and windows, etched pig on the side, and...
Dude, banged on its hood and windows. Like, dude, that's not a crime, dude. You banged on its hood and windows. Dude, that's not a crime, bro. Like, come on. Oh, I banged on a car? Like, what is that? Did I assault the Suburban?
An impeded movement. Did you etch the word pig on the side of an officer's car?
I'm not speaking to the specifics of anything that's in the indictment right now, but like I said, I do plan on pleading not guilty, and the evidence will come out in court, and I plan on winning.
Okay, well, let's watch the video of what happened that day that they are.
Now, dude, I don't even see Tera. Dude, let's go, Christine. All I hear is shame, shame, shame. Yeah. No, it's fucking wild. But I don't even see Kat hitting the car. I saw some other people slapping the car, but like, who cares? It's a fucking car. It's a fucking protest, bro. Dude, I know. She didn't even hit it.
But when you see that, what do you think right now?
Tera, once again, this is my first time being federally indicted. Like I said, I plan on pleading not guilty. The evidence will come out in court, and I plan on winning. Thank you.
Okay, now look, this is the third time that Kat has said, I'm not going to talk about this. I'm not going to comment about this. Right? Tera is trying to discuss a federal fucking trial while it's in place. Okay? You know what I'm saying? And now this is her third warning, and look at her. She's still sitting here being like, oh, and I have a feeling she's going to fucking go into this again. Yeah, Kat fucking told her from the beginning, From the beginning, I can't talk about this. So now that's the third time Kat has said, hey, I'm not commenting on this.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. Just really quickly, I did want to ask you about just the fact that like conspiracy to impede an officer is up to 6 years in prison, forcibly impeding and intimidating.
Forcibly impeding and intimidating an officer. Look at this. Oh my God.
An officer is up to 8 years. Is that like, that could actually hinder your ability to serve in Congress. Are you concerned about that?
Tara, you fucking clown!
Did she just sign off?
Yeah, she did. Dude, I would have signed off too. Oh my God, dude. Dude, she didn't even notice. What a fucking clown. Dude, did you see that though? Like how she said, oh my God, impeding an officer and threatening an officer, but like we literally watched the video. It's fucking people blocking a car. It's a protest that people have done thousands of times nationwide. Dude, it's not even a huge deal. These charges are bullshit. She told her 3 times and then she left, right? Yeah, let's watch this again. Oh my God, dude. Like, here's the thing. Here's the big impeding the officer.
I'll watch the video of what happened that day that they are.
Now, I will say, you don't see Kat hit the hood. You don't see Kat fucking doing anything here. You see somebody come in here and slam the side of the car, okay? Kat obviously didn't etch anything on the side of the door because Kat's all the way right here. You're going to see this person hit the side of the car right there, right? And you'll see him hit it again right there. 2 people hit the car right there, right? But like that thing, nobody who has ever blocked a car like that has ever gotten federally indicted. This whole thing by ICE is more bullshit, more Pam Bondi bullshit. But again, what she says afterwards, where she's like, "Oh, you're being charged for intimidation and all this, dude. This is fucking ridiculous."
But when you see that, what do you think right now?
Tara, once again, this is my first time being federally indicted. Like I said,
Yeah.
I plan on pleading not guilty. The evidence will come out in court, and I plan on winning. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. Just really quickly, I did want to ask you about just the fact that like conspiracy to impede an officer is up to 6 years in prison, forcibly impeding and intimidating an officer is up to 8 years. Is that like, that could actually hinder your ability to serve in Congress. Are you concerned about that? Did she just sign off?
Dude. Yeah, dude, Tara is a gaslighting clown, bro. Oh my God, what a fucking clown.
Did you just leave the chat?
Yeah.
I'm so confused. I'm sorry. I don't know what just happened. Okay. Well,
dude, what a gaslighting clown, bro. Dude, I'm telling you right here, you know what I'm saying? This is going to damage Tara's reputation. Okay? It is. Her reputation is damaged and nobody's going to fucking take her seriously anymore because it was obvious from the start. This person was federally indicted. She told you that I'm not going to discuss this. You want to talk about shit? I'm not going into the specifics. All she asked her about was this. Play the video. And dude, it's fucking ridiculous, boss. Right? It is fucking ridiculous, bro. Clown show. And then she's like, oh, did she leave? Oh, I'm so shocked. Dude, clownery, boss. Oh, we are going to clown Tara, though, in a serious fucking way. Right? Fucking ridiculous. Right? Hold on. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Oh, dude. See, again, guys, my issue with it, dude, let's go, 𝗙𝗏𝗄𝗏. Appreciate you. Let's go, 𝗙𝗏𝗄𝗏. All right. Dude, there we go. All right, guys, we have 35 minutes and we're 11 away. But see, here's the problem, okay? The problem is this, is the no bias, no agenda, right? The no bias, no agenda, right? Dude, yeah, definite bias, definite agenda, okay? Definite bias, definite agenda, unacknowledged, okay? Unacknowledged. I mean, literally, dude, she got indicted like 3 days ago, okay? Nobody's gonna talk about the indictment after being federally indicted, all right? You know what I'm saying? It's literally like, I'm not going to comment at all on the case. Thank you. I'm not going to comment at all on the case. Thank you. I'm not going to comment at all on the case. Thank you. Oh, you're still asking me to fucking talk about specifics? You're still pretending like this is some real serious thing? I'm out. All right, smell you later, dude. Dude, good move, bro. Good move, okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, the thing is if you want to have this discussion afterwards, after the case goes to trial, that's great. But otherwise, dude, you're not going to speak anything. Like, I feel like Kat even saying, I'm going to plead innocent and this is a political persecution, I felt like Kat said more than I would have said. I would have said, I'm not going to speak at all about this case. What else would you like to talk about? Right? I will not speak at all. I am currently in the middle of an ongoing federal investigation. I'm going to say this is a political persecution. That's it. What else would you like to talk about? Did you simply ask me here to try and get me to talk about an ongoing federal investigation? Where did you go to journalism school? Liberty University? What the fuck is wrong with you, Tera Palmeri? Right? You want to talk about Virginia Giuffre being murdered over the Epstein thing? We can talk about that, but we're not going to talk about my goddamn federal case. Okay? That's what I would have said. Next fucking question. By the way, why is your brow so furrowed? What the fuck is wrong with you over there? Why, when you talk to Laurel Loomer, do you look all inquisitive, but with me, you look like my head's in the goddamn guillotine? Right? That's what I would have said. But it wasn't me who got interviewed, so unfortunately, I'm not going to get to say that shit. But that's what I would have said. I think kudos to Kat, all right? Seriously. Dude, she was so gentle about it. She didn't even make a big deal. She didn't even throw like a Bernie fit, right? Remember Bernie, where he's like, I'm not going to talk about this Beltway stuff. I told you I'm not talking about it. Dude, yeah, no, Kat knew what was happening. I mean, it was obvious, dude. And you know, my dad had a philosophy, okay? What my dad always taught me was this. When you smell a rat, you get out of the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? Soon as you smell a rat, you just get out, right? You get out, okay? Let them have the thing. And of course, though, right, all the right-wing headlines are running this. You know, congressional candidate rage quits. Congressional candidate rage quits. I mean, it's actually going to do well for Kat because at the end of the day, guys, at the end of the day, progressives walking out on biased, like fucking shady, like hidden agenda reporters is only going to win you votes. It's only going to win you support because this manipulative, like bullshit angled press is shit that we're fucking tired of, the press with the agenda. I know it wasn't even a rage quit. She literally just said, thank you for having me on. I'm done with this shit. But dude, I think this is the shit we should do more. We should do it from the reporter side too. Like when you're interviewing Donald Trump and he keeps lying, it's like, Mr. Trump, you've now lied again about the 2020 election. I'm sorry, we're canceling the rest of this interview. Because I'm not going to interview you if you sit here and continue lying about the 2020 election. You lost the election, okay? And you're lying about it again. This interview's over. Bye-bye. Oh, shit. Dude, yeah, did you see, though? Look at what Fox did, dude. Dude, Fox, you ready? So all the right-wingers, Look at this. Where is it? Look at this. Right? Look at the fucking the headlines here, right? Fox was like, Fox said she fucking rage quit. Maybe it was on Twitter. Right? It was on here. I saw a fucking rage quit, dude. Where did I see it? Rage quit? Yeah, right here, dude. Look at this. What Weigel says. Very odd segment. Palmeri is asking 𝗣𝗙𝗶𝗹𝗀 questions that counsel would tell her not to answer. Kat doesn't melt down. She just cuts it off early without explanation. Okay? Looks like she regretted agreeing to the hit and called it. Okay? Right? And look at this, though. Now the right-wingers are all using this. Rage quit. Right? Abruptly ends interview. Right? Where was the Fox News? Where was the Fox News one that I saw? Where they said fucking... There was a Fox News bit where they said that she rage quit. Dude, I swear now I'm fucking losing my goddamn mind. Dude, it was not a rage quit. Oh yeah, right here. Right? Here's what it is. Okay? Oh, that's weird. This one just says quits interview. Okay? The one I saw said rage quit. Dude, it was a Fox thing. All right. Oh, shit. But dude, my foil is too tight. No, dude, my foil was just right, guys. Oh, no, here it is. It was from Justice Warrior. Democrat rage quits interview. Right? Here's another one. Not the B, right? The Babylon B. Congressional candidate rage quits. Right? The Babylon B, they're all in it, right? Everybody's doing the rage quit. Town hall, right? Dude, oh shit. Dude, again, it was a hit job, guys. Okay? It was a fucking hit job, right? Democrat panics. Look at Tim Cass, dude. Dude, Tim Cass, Tim Pool said Democrat panics. Rage quit. Panics. I mean, part of this is just YouTube. Right? You gotta title shit for YouTube, but it's funny, dude. Panics. Oh shit, dude. John Jackson, so Kat 𝗣𝗙𝗶𝗹𝗀 rage quit her own interview. Dude, rage quits. Oh, dude, this is amazing. Best of rage quit. Oh fuck, dude. Oh, that's hilarious. All right. That was fucking some premium fucking content. Oh my God, dude. Dude, you like the hat? Yes, dude, the hat is good. Dude, in case you're wondering what I am for Halloween, I decided to be a Tera Palmeri fan. Kidding. Dude, I'm going to be hard on Tera now. Oh, shit. See, I don't like that, dude. I mean, I'll admit, I had noticed some of her right-wing coding. I had noticed some of her right-wing coding and, you know, I mean, I guess previously I know she is a sort of like try to put you on the hot seat type of thing. She's like a clickbaity, try to get a you know who she reminds me of? She reminds me of the gun girl, right? Remember we saw Caitlyn Bennett go to the wine mom and she was like kind of putting words in her mouth. Oh, right? She reminds me of that, where she goes in and she's like, oh, these are very serious charges. Like, oh, oh, let me ask you about specifics of the case. But like, she's trying to provoke some type of reaction. Ooh, these are very serious charges. When any reporter worth of salt would be like, wow, I'm really confused how all I see is you guys just lined up in front of a car like a normal protest, and yet you're getting federally indicted for like threatening an officer. Where's the threat of the officer? Is there another video involved in this trial that we don't see because nobody's threatening anybody? You know, I mean, if you look at like protesters blocking a car, right? I mean, my God, dude, if you look at protesters blocking a car, like, dude, there are fucking hundreds of these, dude. Look at this shit. This is one of the most common fucking protests. I mean, I've done this shit, guys. I've like blocked a car in a protest. You know what I'm saying? They're blocking roads, blocking cars. Like federal indictment? No. You get dragged out in front of the car. You may get arrested, and then they take you in and they release you. And then you go to court and they don't even charge you with shit because you're literally protesting. You're not harming anyone. You're not putting anybody inside that car in a threat. You know what I'm saying? If anybody, you're threatened by this type of protest. The protesters are the ones that are like have a chance of fucking getting harmed. But I mean, this is literally one of the most common types of protest. They happen all over the place. Okay, nobody smashed their windows. Now, I don't know who etched the word pig on the door, but again, I didn't see anybody carving on that door. And there's a very high likelihood that 𝗙ście𝗶𝗹𝗏 came and did some etching on the door, or the ICE agents etched it afterwards, but I didn't see any evidence. Kat certainly didn't etch anything on the door. And like conspiracy, dude, come on. This is fucking bullshit, bro. Right? These protests are literally a dime a fucking dozen. Okay? You know what I'm saying? None of these people are under federal indictment. Remember Kylie Delgado, who blocked the ICE agent in here in Portland, right? They blocked those ICE agents with cars, and the car drove across the lawn. Kylie Delgado hasn't even been arrested. She's not under federal indictment. She was targeted. She was targeted because she's running for Congress. She's a progressive. She's dangerous. She's Gen Z popular. Okay, she's very critical of the Trump administration. That was a targeting like Representative McIver. That was a targeting like Brad Lander. Okay, that was a targeting like them trying to deport fucking Zoran Mamdani. They want to denaturalize him. It's bullshit. Okay, and Tera Palmeri, for you not even recognizing that, and then like going through some motion of like, oh, aren't you really scared? These are very serious charges. Oh, let me ask you a bunch of questions your lawyers would tell you not to answer. Dude, that's hack journalism, boss. That is like hack journalism. That's disrespectful journalism. Okay? It is. Dude, disrespectful journalism right there. All right? All right. Moving on, though. Goddamn, dude. I'm on fire, baby. Dude. Let's go. Hey, you're right, Krygo. It's not even journalism. It was a hit piece. It was a hit piece. And I'll say this, though. Dude, kudos to Kat for recognizing the hit piece and just walking. I think that's a really great deal. I know they're framing it like Katie Porter. I have not watched the Katie Porter video yet. I do have it saved, though. Maybe we'll watch the Katie Porter video tomorrow, now that we're into this. But I think it's great for Kat to have recognized it and to bounce. You know what I'm saying? Did I snort some Fetty? What is Fetty, dude? Fetty? What is Fetty? I saw somebody say Fetty Wap. What is that, dude? Dude, she wasn't going to waste her time. Yes, I think is great. Dude, she wasn't going to waste her time, right? Dude, let's go. Dude, let's go, baby. All right, I'm taking the jacket off. I'm going to leave the hat on for Halloween because I'm liking the hat, but I'm going to take the jacket off because it's like 100 degrees. But dude, look at that, dude, an American flag on there. Fucking shit is beautiful. Nippletown, dude, dude, my nipples, they do this, guys, because I used to have piercings. Right? I had fucking nipple rings, right? So that's why my nipples are like, they're pretty, I don't know, active. Because I used to have rings, dude. I had hoops in there, right? Dude, let's go. Dude, I'm like that, guys. I like to get crazy with the cheese whiz. Dude, you could cut glass. Dude, with those guys, dude, you know what it was? It was Kate Conway, guys, right? I was a waiter at Dive, and there was this girl named Kate Conway that we all wanted to like spend time with. And then I ended up dating her, and we got our nipples pierced together. And then she married the manager of Dive, and her and the manager just eloped, like right in the middle of our affair. She married, yeah, it was 90s. She married the manager, and they've disappeared, dude. I never heard from her again. Dude, she was hot, too. She was. Dude, Kate, she was something else, boss. She was crazy, but yeah, we got our nipples pierced together, dude. Dude, Jenny says she likes the nipples. All right, Jenny, you're down with nipple rings? Maybe we'll get a redux, right? Maybe we'll get a redux, right? Maybe we'll go, I'll get some more nipple rings. Dude, you can get in on that shit. Don't let my wife hear me. No, but Jenny doesn't mind that. Jenny doesn't mind that I thought a woman was hot fucking 25 years ago, 30 years ago. Dude, Jenny knows like how I am, who I am. It has nothing to do with Jenny. Dude, yeah, Jenny's good. Trust me. She knows what I'm like, dude. She's fucking well-versed in who and what I am. Believe me. She knows all my deviancy. Okay? Dude, she does. Dude, let's go. I mean, you have to, boss. You have to have a wide berth to be able to fucking hang out with this guy. Right? You know what I mean? Dude, you gotta have a wide berth to fucking deal with my fucking contraptions. Dude, you like testicle mouse traps? I don't know what that is, boss. Oh, shit, bro. All right. Clip-ons? Dude, no, you can't get clip-ons because you can't fucking pull them, dude. The whole point of the nipple rings is the fucking, the actual resistance, right? If you pull a ring and it just comes off, that's not the thing. All right, you ready, dude? We got to go to Nancy Mace, boss. All right, we got to go to Nancy Mace. But, dude, look at this shit, okay? This is hot off the presses today, all right? It says Nancy Mace curses, berates confused cops in airport meltdown. Police report. Dude, Nancy Mace is up to some shit. Now here, guys, here's what's funny, okay? Can I just tell you, like, if we look at Nancy, because this is what's so confusing about this, guys, okay? Look at what Nancy Mace posted earlier today, okay? Nancy Mace posted this video that says, breaking news, Nancy Mace arrives at the airport with no security. Thank you for your attention to this matter. And if you look at this video, guys, it shows Nancy Mace arriving at the airport. She gets out of a car and then she goes in and there's just like no security, right? She's showing that like, oh, like the government shut down. There's no one around. There's Nancy. Obviously, she's being filmed here. Right? She has somebody that's filming her from 50 feet away, right? But this, guys, happened like she flipped out. Somewhere on this adventure, she had a meltdown and freaked out on cops, right? I mean, dude, now, what's really hard about this, guys, thank you, Furl. What's really hard about this, guys, is we don't know with Nancy, was this staged? Did she do this shit to freak out on a cop to try and like generate some publicity? Right? I mean, we don't know. Okay? But it says at an airport in South Carolina on Thursday, So wait a second. Yeah. All right. U.S. Representative Nancy Mace called police officers fucking incompetent and berated them repeatedly, according to an incident report. Okay. Nancy Mace, the South Carolina Republican Congresswoman, unleashed a tirade against law enforcement at the Charleston International Airport on Thursday. According to an incident report obtained by Wired under the FOIA Act, Mace cursed at police officers, making repeated derogatory comments toward them. The report says that a TSA supervisor told officers that Mace had treated their staff similarly and that they would be reporting her to their superiors. Dude, so funny, bro. Dude, they had to report her because they're like, God damn, dude, this woman is an unruly biatch. Biatch. All right. According to the report, officers with the Charleston County Aviation Authority Police Department were tasked with meeting Mace. Okay, according to the report, officers were tasked with meeting Mace at 6:30 a.m. to escort her from the curb to her flight and been told she would be arriving in a white BMW at the ticketing curb area. Okay, around 6:35, the report says they were told she was running late. They never saw the car arrive. Oh my God, guys. Dude, I am starting to see this because look at this. Look at it. It says Nancy arrives at the airport with no security. Okay? But isn't that crazy? Like they're saying they were told she was coming in a white BMW at a specific time and then she never showed. And here she is posting a video of her showing up saying there's no security. But like, dude, that's not a white BMW for starters. And she said she was running late, so they didn't even know she arrived. Look at her, though, being a fucking clown car, okay? Shortly before 7, dispatch told the officers that Mace was at the entrance for the known crew member program, a trusted access lane with a smaller checkpoint overseen by TSA and intended for flight crew members. When officers quickly located her, according to a supplemental incident report, the Congresswoman immediately began loudly cursing and making derogatory comments to us about the department. I mean, dude, I guess she don't back the blue, right? I mean, I don't know, dude. That's going to be a tough sell if you're cursing at police officers, you want to be governor. All right? I don't know about that. She repeatedly stated we were fucking incompetent and this is no way to treat a fucking U.S. representative. Dude, let's go, liberal. Appreciate you. All right. As officers escorted her to her gate, according to the report, she brought a South Carolina Senate colleague into the fracas. She also said we would never treat Tim Scott like this, says one officer tasked with escorting Mace. Dude. Oh my God, she's like, how dare you treat a U.S. representative like this? I know I showed up not in the car I said I was going to, not at the time I said, and now I'm yelling at you, and you wouldn't do this to fucking Tim Scott. Dude, the entire walk to gate B8, she was cursing and complaining and often doing the same into her phone. In the main incident report, an officer notes Mace was yelling into her phone either on a phone call or dictating text messages. After standing in the vicinity of B8 for several minutes with her continuing her tirade, she finally boarded the aircraft. After Mace's flight took off, the report states an American Airlines gate agent approached the officers. According to the report, he stated he was in disbelief regarding her behavior. He implied that a U.S. representative should not be acting the way she was. Yeah, no, I'm surprised she didn't live stream it too. But I think she didn't live stream it because it would have made her look like a fucking clown. All right, guys, just so you know, we have 11 minutes. We need 11 in 11 if we're going to get a dance party, all right? Heads up, it's crunch time. The report goes on to state that the officers checked with the TSA supervisor, told the officers he was very upset with how she acted at the checkpoint. The supervisor said Mace had talked to several TSA agents the same way. He would be submitting a report to his superiors about her unacceptable behavior. TSA agents are currently not being fully paid. That's true. So she's doing all this to people that aren't even getting paid. Apparently, simply arriving at an airport now makes for a worthy headline. We are forced to take the Congresswoman's safety extremely seriously. After the world watched Charlie Kirk, the threats against her have only intensified. Our security procedures are based solely on legitimate safety concerns, and any attempt to politicize this reality is both dangerous and reckless. So that's what Mace's side said. You see that? Dude, look at this. Dude, Mace's side is saying, oh, Charlie Kirk, like because of Charlie Kirk, now when Nancy Mace shows up, she needs to have like the Secret Service there. Dude, hey, Nancy Mace, how about you shut the fuck up and just get to work? You know what I'm saying? Nobody cares about your dumb ass. On Twitter, Mace appeared to address part of the story, writing for the fake news. This is the entrance all members of Congress use. Are you going to write that Senators Lindsey Graham and Tim Scott used the same entrance? TSA and American Airlines did not respond to requests for comment. One of the officers noted in the report that after watching a video footage, they were able to determine that Mace had originally been dropped off in a BMW that was not white. Okay, and that's this car. That car is clearly not white. Any other person in the airport acting and talking the way she did, our department would have been dispatched and we would have addressed the behavior. Dude, let's go. Dude, Pika, thank you for the tenor. Appreciate it. Thank you for the love. All right, guys. So it is $2 super chats for the dance party. Unfortunately, they don't do the stickers. But dude, that sticker is very meaningful, Pika. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Dude, let's go. Dude, let's go. All right. So guys, we've got 9 minutes. Uh-oh, crunch time. All right, we're going to hang out and talk for 9 minutes. And so, but again, though, Nancy Mace has had a history of tirades. Okay, can we just fucking look at, like, for example, remember the one she had with the gay guy in the fucking, in the store, in the drugstore, right? Remember this one? It was this one, right? Right here.
I do them every year.
Every year.
You want to keep
Are you
going?
gonna do any more this
Do you want
year?
to keep going and
Are you
keep
gonna do-
harassing me?
I'm asking if
You
you're
could
gonna
have
have more
gone
town
to a
halls this
dozen
year.
town halls last
I
year.
asked if you're doing any more this year. It was one simple question.
Yeah.
Are you doing a town
I've
hall
already
this year?
done one. I'll do
Are
plenty
you doing
more.
any more this year? It was a simple question.
You're always invited.
Okay, sweet. We'll look
And
out
by
for
the
an
way,
actual invitation
I
for the next
voted for
one.
gay marriage twice.
What does that have to do
So
with me?
I'm just saying, it has everything to do with you.
Do you think everything about me has to do with gay marriage?
I do,
That's
absolutely.
Your first stance when
Yep.
Dude, I voted for gay marriage twice. Now, I will remind you, okay? Dude, we will remind you that literally she voted for gay marriage twice, and then yesterday, right? Yesterday she posted this. Dude, look at that. Isn't that funny? Oh my God, dude, she is a clown, bro. Dude, let's go. Chris C. Paul, let's go. Thank you. All right. Oh, shit. 7 minutes to dance party or no dance party. Dude, let's go. Anya. Oh, we're getting there. Dude, let's go. But yeah, so she did. She voted for gay marriage twice, and she decided she had to bring that up to the gay guy that's talking to her in a store.
Absolutely.
other humane
If you want to get in my
conversation you
face
can
about
have about
town
me?
halls, you should have shown up
There's
to
no
one
other
last
humane
year.
thing you can talk about me just saying, oh, I support gay marriage.
Yeah,
That's
because
the
you're
only thing
getting
you
in
have
my
to
face
say.
about a town hall. You
All I
could have
was
gone
asking one
last year.
simple question from
Would
right
you
over
like
here
me?
is if you have any plans to have more town hall this year.
I have town
That
halls
was one
every year.
question.
I have over a dozen
Okay,
every year.
Great, that was my entire question.
Dude, she is such a fucking degenerate. Dude, day trader, let's go. All right, now we're rolling, baby. 9 more, 6 minutes. We can do this. Dude, it is the beauty section. I don't know if it's the beauty, but it's somewhere at a CVS. But dude, she is so, shy. She is unhinged, okay? A little unhinged is an understatement. Hold on, we got to wipe the fucking dome, bro. It's fucking, I'm sweating in here, boss. Dude, you see that? Like the sweat is coming off the tinfoil, bro. Dude, do you see it? That shit is dripping, bro. Why am I sweating so much? I mean, I guess because it's not cloth, right? You wear a hat and the sweat forms and it soaks into your hat. This shit, no sweat is soaking into. I'm like, dude, shit is dripping, bro. Dude, Pika, let's go. You are amazing. Oh. Dude, the tinfoil is working. Dude, I am cooking, bro. Dude, I want to get on the Tera Palmeri show. You think she'll interview me? I'm going to reach out to her and be like, you know, Tera, I'd like to talk to you about your journalism. Dude, let's go. Dude, nobody's ever going to talk to me, boss. Right? You doubt this guy is gay? He's wearing white sneakers? No, this guy is definitely gay. Come on. Let's be real. And there's nothing wrong with being gay. Dude, we're all a little bit gay.
You could have come to any of them last year.
Okay. And I'm
I had
asking you
over a
about this year,
dozen.
not 2024. But
Where
for
were you the year
right?
before that?
Okay.
Or the year before that?
It was a simple
Oh,
question. I
because
asked
you know
if
what?
have
Because you
any more that
people
you're
on the
going to
left
this year
are
or not.
crazy.
So I'm
You're
aware.
Dude, you people on the left are crazy. Dude, Bradford, let's go. Dude, Martine, let's dance, baby. Let's go. Dude, oh shit. Dude, yeah. Remember this?
absolutely fucking crazy.
I'm absolutely fucking
You are.
crazy.
And get out of my face.
You're insane.
Goodbye.
You're insane.
Fuck you.
You're gonna fuck me and you're
Dude, look at that. Dude, it's a U.S. congressperson screaming, fuck you, to one of her constituents, guys. Right? Like, even if you don't like them, even if they're a different party, dude, Michelle Melton, right? Let's go, Michelle. All right, guys, 4 minutes. Dude, crunch time, baby. We need 5 and 4, boss. Dude, even if you don't like them, even if they're the other party or whatever, you hate them, they're still your constituent. You still represent them. You know what I'm saying? Dude, Squalus, damn skull, happy Halloween, one and all, let's go. You know? But she's like, fuck you. Dude, and she's running for government. Dude, Shayla, let's boogie. Yeah, we are gonna boogie, Shayla. We are. Right? 3 minutes and 3. Dude, 3 and 3 is all we need. We got this.
You voted
Bye.
out so fast this year. I
I'm
can't
not.
wait for you to fucking
I'm
go
not.
into
I
the
won by
third.
so much.
You're a disgrace to this state. That's what you are. You're a disgrace. I asked you a simple question and you just to go on this tirade and tell me fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you.
Disgusting.
Get out of my face.
Fuck you. How about
Get out of my face. Try it again. What's your name?
Try it again? Dude, what is she talking about? Try it again. Try what again? Like, try standing in the aisle again with the fucking shampoo bottle in your hand? Dude, this woman is insane, bro. But here's the good news, guys. The good news is she's going to run for governor. She's going to lose, and then she's not going to be in Congress anymore. Okay? She's leaving her congressional seat to run for governor. She's going to lose, and then she's out of a job. Okay? And fuck her. All right? She can go back to the Waffle House, bro. You know what I mean? All right, guys, 2:28. We need 3 in 2 minutes. Crunch time, baby. We're going to ride out. Dude, oh, there it is. Dance, let's go. Nurse Joy. Let's go. Dude. Oh, shit. But yeah, so 2 more. 2 more, guys. We got this. Easy. 2 in 2 minutes. Piece of cake. So this, though, right, is like, obviously Nancy has a long history here of going on tirades, freaking out. She's, running for governor. She shows up in the wrong car. She says she'll be there at 6:30 in a white BMW. Then she says, I'm running late. Then she shows up not in a white BMW. Nobody knows where Nancy Mace is. Then she goes into the line and starts yelling at the cops. You're fucking incompetent. You fucking suck. Fuck you. Started berating them the whole way while they escort her through the airport. Then she gets on a plane and everyone's like, God damn, bro, what is wrong with that woman? There it is, guys. Oh, there it is. The last 2 come in. Let's go. Ken Thompson, let's go. LMB Blossom. Dude, we did it. Dance party. Dude, let's fucking go. All right, let's go. All right. So, dude, isn't that crazy? That shit is insane. Dude, Nancy fucking Mace, bro. She is, I mean, dude, she's a melter, bro. She is, okay? I did reply to this, guys, where I said, you know, this was my response to Nancy Mace, where I said, when you're done there, can you go check out the truck stop? We found this woman turning tricks for Mentos, and we really want to get her off the street. Thanks, boss. Dude, let's go. The wife and I love listening. Dude, thank you, Rion. Appreciate you, boss. Dude, mission accomplished, guys. Dude, look at her. Remember when she was driving to DC in the van and she was out there in her pajamas, right? I mean, she is just so crazy, guys. She is so rattled, okay? She is constantly freaking out on people. Remember, you ready for this? Hold on. Remember when she said she got into an altercation, right? She got into an altercation with a transgender person, okay? A transgender person came and hugged her, or shook her hand. A transgender person shook her hand, okay? And afterwards, she showed up with her hand in a sling, and she was filing federal charges against him, right? Okay? She showed up with her arm in a sling. She went to a fundraiser. A transgender person confronted her on her relentless attacks on trans people after shaking her hand. And then Nancy said, oh, this person assaulted me. And she had a sling on, and she filed a suit that instantaneously got tossed. Okay? Right? It instantaneously got tossed. And, right, so she has had a long history of her fucking consistently, right? Dude, there she is, like a day later, shaking hands. Dude, Nancy Mace is garbage, complete train wreck. Yes, Stephanie, you called it. You are not wrong. Right? Oh my God, dude. Crisis actress extraordinaire. Nancy Mace reacts to prosecutors dropping charges against the man who shook her hand. Dude, that's it. There it is, dude. Crisis actress extraordinaire. Thank you. Dude, I love fucking Hoodlum, dude. Dude, this guy is so funny. Oh my God, that amazing. Oh, there she is, dude. That's a good one. Yeah, there she was. Okay. This was back in July. Okay. She's fucking came to work. Look at her, dude. She's juiced up on Ozempic and Adderall and fucking, she's been snorting Trumpism off the fucking, off the glove box of her car. And dude, I've never seen anyone get so whacked so fast as Nancy Mace, dude. Like, never. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, dude. Wow. Ooh, crazy. All right. Moving on. All right, we're going to cover one more story. And then after we, dude, the plate of beans. Yes, Stradley, that makes me think of the 𝗙𝗪𝗪 right? The 𝗙𝗪𝗪 tweet. Remember? There's this one. It's a lot of beans. Right here, that's a lot of beans, you nasty ass bitch. Right? Dude. Dude, let's go. Oh, shit. Dude, there it is. That's a classic tweet, boss. That one goes down in history. Dude, of fucking, right? Oh, shit. Dude, let's go. Dude, forever. That will forever be tied to Nancy Mace, right? All right. So now, guys, this next story, guys, is pretty personal to me, okay? I will admit, I did not know about this until I saw somebody talking about it in chat. Some people that collected in chat before the start of chat, before the start of the stream tonight, somebody mentioned this, and then I looked it up, and I decided we would take a look at this. Now, why this is so personal to me, guys, is because in the town of Watertown, Wisconsin, okay, a small town that at the time had like 10,000 people, where I lived, you know, about half of my younger years, we lived, you know, a half a block from an Assembly of God church. And several of my family members were deeply involved in the Assembly of God church. One of my sisters was in it, and she moved to a religious commune down in northern Arkansas in a little town called Eureka Springs. She has now since gotten out, but one of my brothers is still in the church. He actually has a warehouse in Wisconsin, and he collects medical supplies and shit, and they go and build churches in Romania where they follow a Romanian person who they believe is a prophet of God that is like leading them to the end times. It's really freaky. Now, that same brother who's involved in the church, dude, he like hits his kids. I mean, he's had a long history of, you know, other behavior that I find a little bit suspect. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, physically harming your kids is super toxic. It's unhelpful, especially when they're toddlers. Emotionally dysregulates them, very damaging. But anyway, you know, to make a long story short, I was involved with the Assembly of God. When I had these brothers and sisters in this church, I would sometimes go with them. One time in 8th grade, I went there. And so these things happen, guys, where when they bring you in, if you're brought in as a guest, the congregation tries to like pull you in, okay? People bring guests, and the congregation tries to like entrance them and pull them in. So let me tell you what happened. My brother took me to this service. Okay, it wasn't a Sunday service. It was like a Wednesday service, a weekday thing. And he took me to the worship service, and there was a room full of people. There were like 40 people. And in the middle of this service, they all started speaking in tongues. And then everybody turned and looked at me, and they all started speaking in tongues to me. And then like the girls in the congregation came and started putting their arms around me, and people were hugging me and feeling me and like surrounding me, and they walked me up to the front, and they were like kneeling down before me. I mean, it was like a really weird group hysteria thing. And now on the one hand, guys, it was really, it's hard to describe. As an 8th grader, it was intoxicating, okay? It was intoxicating because everybody is like, you're the center of attention, and the pastor is treating you like you are a divine entity. And it's almost like they're praying before you. Yeah, I was an 8th grader. So I was, you know, I mean, I was a young 8th grader. I was probably 13, right? I think I was 13 maybe. You know, I graduated at 17. So 16, 15, 14. Yeah, I was like 13. Okay, I had just turned 13. But it was like, I don't know, it was like super intoxicating. I did cry, right? I sort of gave into the moment, and I cried, and I like let it sort of fill me up and shit. And then afterwards, though, here's the thing that I noticed is afterwards they were all like celebrating, and they were like, you have to come back. You know, we have space for you. There's a home for you here. And then I walked out, and I remember going home that night and being like, dude, that was fucking weird, right? That was just weird, right? It was like intoxicating, but it also felt like a setup. It felt like a salesmanship, okay? And what's more is there was like a hysteria, okay, caught up in it that like, you know, I knew it wasn't divine, okay? because the reality is when you have a room full of people, if you go to a rock concert, sometimes the energy just builds to this like writhing hysteria. You know what I'm saying? Like any group of people that are engaged in like, you know, dancing and chanting or singing and whatever, you can create an air of like otherworldliness that is absolutely not divine. Okay. You create that. And faith healers do this. They get everybody jacked up. You get everybody amped up and then, and the person falls and they're like, oh my God, I'm wrapped up in the moment. Right. And it is fucking crazy. You never saw that gimmick? Well, good, Joel. I'm glad you never saw it. But anyway, that was part of the thing that sort of ended my relationship with Christianity. It didn't immediately end it because I was still in a Moravian church. I was in the middle of being confirmed. But as a younger person, guys, I wanted to be a pastor. I grew up in a house with a lot of physical and emotional and sexual abuse. So I naturally gravitated towards the Lord and Jesus and the church and the healing and, you know, being, you know, protected by God and all that. But that Assembly of God experience began my unraveling. That, and during my confirmation, I had a lot of really deep heart-to-heart talks with the pastor of my Moravian church. And he had a lot of trouble addressing some of my greater concerns about the omniscience of God and the intersection with free will. I was a pretty precocious, like, ninth grader. I got confirmed when I was in ninth grade. And there were a lot of questions I had prepared for the pastor that he just couldn't answer. And then I, of course, went to high school, and then I went to UCLA where I studied the history of religion. And that's when I really started realizing, you know, the salesmanship that comes with religion, especially the three-headed beast of the Abrahamic religion of, you know, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. But anyway, so this story is really personal because NBC News uncovered a 50-year pattern, guys, of Assemblies of God churches shielding accused predators. Okay? Now here's the thing, guys. This isn't just the Assembly of God found some guys who were being predators and they booted them from the church and they didn't prosecute them. This was the Assembly of God finding people abusing kids and allowing them to continue abusing kids and covering it up, even after they know they're abusing them again. A long time, right? A long 50-year period of sex abuse. Now, it's a little different than the Catholic Church. It is similar, but it's a little different because I think most of this was heterosexual. Because in these types of Christian churches, the pastors are allowed to get married. It's not like Catholic priests where they have to take a vow of celibacy and they're never around any women and shit, right? The Catholic Church has this weird, you know, no sex with women, which kind of like leads to that like boy abuse. I mean, we could go into the psychology of the Catholic Church and the level of shame. That's a whole nother thing. But the way they treat, you know, chastity there and the way they forbid any type of relations, I think encourages a different type of fucking behavior. But dude, this is really gnarly. 50-year pattern. So let's look at this, okay? It's part of Pastors and Pray, a series investigating sex abuse allegations in the Assemblies of God, okay? So look at this, guys. A children's pastor was caught filming girls in a church bathroom in Arkansas. Elders suspended him for a few weeks. The pastor was filming girls in a church bathroom. Arkansas, Sarah Huckabee Sanders. They suspended him for just a few weeks. Then he's back in action. In Illinois, a preacher was sexually abusing children. Accused of it, church leaders sent him to therapy. Never called the police. In California, a worship minister went to prison for molesting boys. His congregation threw him a party when he returned. All of these men remained in the ministry of Assemblies of God, the world's largest Pentecostal denomination. All went on to abuse more. They remained in the ministry afterwards. The church let them back, and then they reoffended. Okay, since the 1970s. So for me, guys, it was like 82 was when my thing was. And no, I was never abused in the Assembly of God church, okay? And the two brothers that did sexually abuse me, that happened like many years before that, and they were not involved ever in the Assembly of God church. All right, since the 1970s, Assemblies of God churches have repeatedly reinstated ministers and volunteer leaders accused of sexual misconduct, returning them to pulpits and youth groups, an NBC investigation found. While some of the other large Christian denominations now require safeguards, such as background checks, mandatory reporting, National Assemblies of God leaders have resisted, arguing such rules would increase legal risk, undermine its commitment to local church autonomy, and defy a core biblical command to forgive. The result is a patchwork system that has protected accused predators and left generations of children in danger. All right. NBC News identified nearly 200 Assemblies of God pastors, church employees, and volunteer leaders accused of sexual abuse over the past half century based on a nationwide search of lawsuits, criminal records, and news archives. Together, they allegedly abused more than 475 people, the overwhelming majority of them children. The allegations stretch into this year when a 10-year-old girl said in a lawsuit that her pastor groped her during Bible study. 10 years old, guys. 10 years old. Dude, insane. All right. What do we got here?
Now to an NBC News investigation into a pattern of abuse at the world's largest Pentecostal denomination, the Assemblies of God. NBC News uncovered a 50-year pattern of sex abuse, silence, and cover-up. And now some survivors are looking for change from the top. A warning, parts of this story are hard to hear. When Stephanie Davis was in 6th grade, she was part of a group for homeschooled kids at an Assemblies of God church in Jonesboro,
6th grade,
Arkansas.
dude.
This is most of our homeschool group.
When it was time for phys ed, Davis says children's pastor Tony Waller told them to undress in a bathroom, do stretches, and change into play clothes.
It just changed to, why don't you get naked and do this? It's going to help you.
Stretches?
Yeah, stretches.
One day they were playing hide and seek and went into a storage room off the bathroom.
We opened the door, and there it is, a camera on a black stool.
Do you remember what you thought in that moment?
I knew. We knew that he had been taping us.
At first they didn't tell their parents, but weeks later, Davis says Waller gave her a drink she now believes was drugged.
I just remember spinning, you know. I don't know if I blacked out, but I remember, and there's a picture of green steps. I remember sitting on those green steps thinking, I've got to go.
What's the emotion you're feeling?
The emotion is just not knowing, you know, exactly what happened.
She was scared
Dude.
and told her mom everything. She says her mother went to the head pastor, Mike Glover, with the disturbing details.
And then what happened after that meeting?
Tony was suspended, and then, you know, he was back.
That's been a pattern in Assemblies of God churches.
Dude, after all that, he was back. Like presiding over the same congregation of the girls he had just abused.
ABC News identified nearly 200 Assemblies of God pastors, church employees, and volunteer leaders accused of sexual abuse over the past 50 years.
Dude, look at that. Dude, look at that, bro. I don't see any, like, my fucking town in Wisconsin would have been right there. So I don't think any happened at the Assembly of God in Watertown. That would have been about, like, right there. But look at that, bro. That's insane, dude.
Together, they allegedly abused more than 475 people, most of them kids. In about 30 cases that NBC News found, church leaders put alleged abusers in positions of power, allowing them to abuse again. Nearly 2 years after Stephanie says her mom reported the children's pastor, Tony Waller, Courtney Blackburn says he started visiting her house when her mom was at work. And this is your bedroom?
Dude.
She says Waller brought bags of clothes for her to try on and keep. One day, when she was changing in her bedroom, she stopped cold.
I got about this far with my top and I seen it and I stopped. I froze.
And you see what?
The video camera sitting on my dresser.
In that split second, you know.
Dude, he brought over clothes for her to try on to her house in her bedroom and set up a video camera in there. Dude, this is so fucked up, bro.
Oh, that he's recording you.
Oh, yes. These come out of the clothing bag. I was 11 in these pictures.
11
pictures.
Tony did.
Courtney immediately called her mother, Rhonda, who says she also went straight to the head pastor, Mike Glover.
He told me that he would have to take it before the board and the deacons, and they would have to pray about it.
Have to
I was told,
pray about
quote unquote, God told us that it was a misunderstanding.
Then head pastor Mike Glover declined to appear on camera. He told NBC News he was never told about Waller secretly recording children, saying he suspended Waller for leaving children unattended.
Mike Glover tells NBC News that he has no memory of you coming forward.
And that's a lie. That's a straight lie.
In 2015, Tony Waller was arrested after his wife found thousands of images of
Look at this fucking smarmy piece of shit. Thousands of images.
naked children on his computer.
Jesus.
2 young sisters, aged 10 or 11, told police Waller raped them. Waller was convicted and is in prison for life.
He's in prison
Davis
for
and
life.
Blackburn both gave statements of
Good
their
for-
own to
good
police,
for that.
saying Waller
Oh,
filmed them
man.
and that they reported it to Pastor Glover.
Good morning.
The General Council of the Assemblies of God declined an interview with NBC.
Dude, look at this fucking guy, bro. Jesus Christ, dude. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be judgmental, but if I walk into any fucking church and this guy walks up to the podium, dude, I'm immediately... I am so out, bro. Dude, I'm walking out backwards, dude. I'm like, fuck. Dude, holy shit, boss. Oh my God, dude, Jesus. What the fuck are we doing here,
NBC
man?
News, the church saying in a statement, it grieves with anyone who has been hurt through the actions of an abuser, and said it remains committed to child safety. But over the decades, the General Council has considered and failed to make changes to protect children, like in 2019, when it examined mandating new policies for its 13,000 churches, such as background checks for anyone working with kids and mandatory reporting to police. 2 years later, the council decided against that.
Look at it. These are the guys that made the decisions that led to these kids getting repeatedly abused. And guys, it starts with the leadership, man. The leadership sets the tone, okay? Are the people at the individual fucking parishes, the individual churches accountable? Of course. The people there that let it go, dude, Uncle F, let's go, baby. Namaste, motherfuckers. Right? But like, of course, the pastors and the board of directors or whatever, the board at those churches, all of them should be held accountable in addition to the people, the perpetrators. But like these like national leaders that won't protect people, these guys should go down too. All of them should be in prison.
Their top lawyers saying it could expose them to costly lawsuits.
But they thought the risks associated with it outweighed the benefit.
What do you think of that?
It's dumbfounding.
The church where Waller ministered has since changed its name, and the new pastor says implemented stricter child safety policies. Stephanie Davis says if church leaders had taken action when she came forward, Tony Waller could have been stopped.
It shouldn't have happened.
Yeah. That's crazy. Somebody came forward and they let him back until he ended up having sex with some fucking kids, bro. Dude, so brutal. They were violated. Survivors say they were violated in sanctuaries, at pastors' homes, in tents, on camping trips. California preacher was accused of holding knives to children's chests while forcing them to perform acts on each other. Dude, what the fuck, bro? In Louisiana, a youth leader confessed to drugging and assaulting boys during a sleepover. A couple in New Mexico say their pastor used his spiritual authority to drive them apart, then coerce the wife into sex. Of the alleged abusers, 123 were ministers, and nearly half of those were youth pastors. Others were church employees, youth group leaders, or Sunday school teachers. Dozens were accused of luring boys through the Royal Rangers. That's a Pentecostal version of the Boy Scouts. Okay, in about 30 instances, church leaders placed alleged abusers into positions of authority after they had been accused. So they get accused, and then they put them into positions of power, freeing them to strike again. Convicted sex offenders led youth groups. Accused ministers were reinstated or quietly moved to new congregations. As a result, according to lawsuits and police records, dozens more children were abused. And yes, right? What John Doe said right there is every one of these motherfuckers was a Trump supporter. Every one of these guys, every one of these abusing weirdos were Trump supporters. 100%. Okay? In nearly 40 other cases, leaders allegedly covered up or dismissed reports of misconduct, often failing to alert police or pressuring victims to stay quiet. Melody Meza recalled a leader in her congregation praying for lying demonic spirits to leave her after she reported abuse by a church elder. Dude, that is very evangelical right there. Somebody comes forward and says, I've been abused by this pastor, and they're like, oh, I'm going to pray for you to get rid of your evil spirits. They made me feel like something was wrong with me and not the person abusing me, said Meza, one of nearly 20 people suing an Assemblies of God church in California accused of concealing decades of abuse. Others said preachers twisted scripture to silence them. Touch not the Lord's anointed, pastors warned, citing a verse from Psalms that some interpret as a command and never question spiritual leaders. Courtney Blackburn said she wished her church's former leaders had looked to another passage, one in which Jesus commanded followers to protect children. When she reported misconduct by her youth pastor in Arkansas, she said they left him in place. He went on to essay 2 children, criminal records show. Dude, this is crazy. In May, church officials let children's pastor Joe Campbell keep preaching for years, despite allegations. Okay, in August, NBC News uncovered how an Assemblies of God college ministry funneled hundreds of students to the home of Daniel Savala, a sex offender that some pastor hailed as the holiest man alive. Okay, in both cases, leaders dismissed warnings, allowing the abuse to continue. All right. I guess the Catholic Church and the Southern Baptist Convention have both taken some steps after huge scandals to do some shit to protect people. The Assemblies of God has not taken any of those steps. Okay, denomination leaders acknowledge in the 90s that sex abuse in its churches was a serious problem, urged congregations to implement safety measures, but they never had any consequences, and they never required any of this stuff to be done. Okay? And for decades, survivors pressed the Assemblies of God to do more. Okay? Some victims attempted suicide, struggle with anxiety and addiction. I mean, I was sexually abused. I struggled with addiction for a huge portion of my life. Dude, it was, it was a journey. I mean, it's a journey, man, when you go through this stuff. I was not abused by a pastor, but it doesn't matter. I mean, dude, it's super toxic. The Assemblies of God could make anti-abuse policies mandatory, but they backed away because the lawyers warned it could expose them to lawsuits. Time and again throughout its history, Assemblies of God was warned about the danger, and time and again it extended grace to abusers rather than pursue justice for victims. It is something you deal with for a lifetime. It is, proud liberal. I mean, I will say this. I will say for me, what it led to is 20 years of drug abuse, right? And then eventually I got sober, and then I studied meditation, and then I did therapy for about a decade and several years of EMDR. And it was really the combination of therapy and EMDR and meditation, a meditation discipline, that I finally was able to sort of like rid myself of it, And now I'm like relatively unaffected. I mean, there's still a little bit of trauma in my body that comes up every time and again, right? There's definitely some trauma in my body that I experience from time to time related to it. But for the most part, like I don't have the triggering responses anymore, right? I was able to get rid of like the emotional triggering responses that would cause real relationship destructive type things. Those I were able to get rid of. Now what'll happen is, I'll get some sort of physical symptoms that crop up, but I'm aware of them and I know that they're connected to the abuse. And I just talk about them with Jenny and we have a good laugh about it and you move on. But it did take years of EMDR. And guys, if you're out there and you have been sexually abused, I cannot recommend EMDR like highly enough. Okay, it is a PTSD therapy originally designed to help war veterans overcome PTSD, and it is one of the #1 sexual abuse therapies out there that allows you to, like, it doesn't just, the thing about EMDR is EMDR doesn't just like help you cope with it. EMDR actually eradicates it. Okay, it does. It's like the unconscious fusing of your trauma response and your acting out gets literally like reprogrammed to where you have a conscious relationship with it, where you cannot you don't go through life reacting to triggers. It actually helps remove the response to triggers. And yes, it's the reprocessing. It is for sexual abuse, for any type of PTSD. It's EMDR. It's called eye movement and eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. And it does exactly what it says. It takes away your sensitivity to the triggers, but beyond that, it allows you to reprocess them and to overcome it. And no, it's not a drug. So I'll tell you what it is, guys. So it's real simple. In its simplest form, what it is a visualization-based talk therapy that happens while both sides of your brain are stimulated. Okay? So you're either doing eye movements, following a finger, or for me, my therapist tapped my knees. But what you do is you engage in a behavior that stimulates both sides of your brain, okay? Either you have paddles that vibrate, alternating left hand, right hand, or my therapist tapped my fucking knees, or your eyes will move where you're stimulating both sides of your brain, and then you are engaging in a visualization talk therapy while your brain is being stimulated, so everything repressed comes to the forefront because your brain represses it. But when you're stimulating both sides of your brain, the repressed shit just comes out. No, you're not hypnotized. You're not hypnotized. There's no hypnosis. It's just a simple, right? It's a simple fucking, like, you're just stimulating both sides of your brain, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like you would if you're just stimulate. But you're awake, you remember everything, there's no hypnosis, it's regular talk therapy, but because your brain is being stimulated, the repressed shit comes up. It's called EMDR, okay? It's right here, dude. I'll show you. Right? It's EMDR therapy, okay? This is it. I'll put a link to it. Okay? It's amazing. They've been doing it since the 80s, guys. All right? Now, so what happens is it's different for everybody, but so what happened with me is eventually, right? Eventually I got into some shit with like my relationship with my mother and looking at some triggers, like how if an older woman like my mother's age would tell me they were proud of me, it would sort of trigger some shit. And you start investigating your triggers, and then you go back and you just re-experience things. You don't re-experience the abuse, you re-experience whatever your body has stored. Like for me, from the sexual abuse, what I re-experienced was this. I re-experienced the smell of the room while the abuse was happening. I remembered a few bits and pieces of visual things. I re-experienced the feeling of the wool blanket making me itch. I could hear the cars driving by when I was silently listening to see if the footsteps of the abuser were coming down the hall. And then you re-experience the pain. Okay, I would like cry and wail and shriek, and all the fear and anger and rage and intense sorrow that I had bottled up with that abuse and those other like feelings that I had remembered from the occurrence. But the thing is, guys, is after you do that, after you cry it and scream it and experience the wool blanket, the shit is gone. It's gone. Okay, the shit that you remembered, that all the like crying and shit that was embedded in my body and my psyche and all my behavior, once you re-experience it and let it out, it is just gone. And then that trigger is gone. Okay, and it's amazing. It's like it literally removes the trauma. Right now, my therapist used a metaphor, and here was her metaphor. I always share it because I think it's a perfect metaphor. But what my therapist said is every time you're traumatized like that and you get PTSD, it's like somebody takes a watermelon of pain and they throw it against your brain and it just shatters, and little bits of the pain fuse all over your brain every single time you get abused. Now with EMDR, you go back and you find the bits of watermelon and you literally take them off your brain and you put it back on the watermelon. And once you do that, that little bit of stored trauma is out of you. It's gone. It is back on the traumatic event, and it is out of your fucking brain processing. And it is life-changing, okay? It is fucking life-changing. I can just tell you after a couple of years of doing that. Now, my advice, though, guys, and I'm going to give you some advice, okay? Here's a little bit of advice. You have to trust your therapist, okay? This is implicit. You have to really trust them, okay? So if you go in there and the therapist, you get a weird feeling, the therapist feels like not genuine, it doesn't feel safe, get the fuck out of there, okay? Don't do it with somebody you don't trust. You have to feel like cared for, and you have to feel like you trust them. It's very important because you're not going to achieve the level of openness and connectedness unless you feel really, and I mean, if that means you go see to the therapist for 6 months before you even start the EMDR, you fucking go and make sure you feel that. Okay, let me just tell you, I had a therapist once. I went to a woman who was life-changing. Then I decided to go see somebody else. I went and got a guy therapist, but this guy made a comment about my teeth. He had stained teeth too. We both had tetracycline stained teeth. And during one of our sessions, he made a comment, a flippant, offhanded comment about my stained teeth. And I immediately walked out. And he was like, "Can I ask you why?" And I'm like, "No, I'm just leaving." And I walked out, and because I wouldn't do it. You gotta have trust. Dude, yes, no, DBT is another one, dialectical behavior theory, right? That's another good one, DBT. I know a young woman I dated who had a generalized anxiety disorder. She had really bad panic attacks. She went to DBT. Okay, DBT is great. Tapping is really good. All of this shit is good. But dude, it's really bad if you and your therapist don't vibe. I mean, I don't know what it's like. I just know, I don't know if it would be really bad, but I just know that like, you know, I had the only like real effectful, right? the only real, like the most powerful effects I got from it were from the 2 therapists that I really, really trusted, right? I just think, you know, if you're going to really have somebody help you open this shit up, you got to trust them, you know? You know what I'm saying? I think all therapy, you really need that. You need to find somebody you trust. And sometimes you have bad experiences. You know, like my first time in therapy, I went and saw a woman who was very motherly, and she told me I was manic, and she put me on medication, and the medication like took away my mania, but it also took away my spark, and it made me feel kind of like, you know, I lost my creativity and I lost my libido, and so like that particular therapy experience was liberating for me though, because I walked in there one day with the pills and I said, I'm not taking the medication anymore, and you're fired. And like, I'm done seeing you. I don't fucking trust you anymore. You rushed me onto medication and you're not listening to me. And like, you are fucking crossing some boundaries here. So fuck you. And so the thing is that is really beneficial to go into a bad therapist and say, I'm done with you. And then you develop a boundary and you go and find somebody you trust, right? I didn't quit therapy. I just used that therapeutic experience as a growth experience where I developed a boundary, okay? And I fucking found the wherewithal to say, no more from you. You're fired. I'm not doing this anymore. And then I went and found a better therapist. And so I think those are really important. If you get a bad therapist, being able to develop a boundary and get yourself out of that and go find a better one, that's an important growth thing. And I mean, I'm lucky though, like I don't have depression, okay? I'm really lucky, guys. I have mania. I have like serious fucking mania. Like you can't even imagine the level of mania I have. And I'm horribly ADD and it's really hard to rein in sometimes. The streaming's a perfect outlet for me because I just go for hours. I could do this for 20 hours and with no loss of energy. But I don't have the crash, which is like so lucky. I don't really have the crash, right? I get depressed like every couple weeks for like a day, you know, but I don't have like the manic depression. I just have the mania. And so what they put me on was Neurontin, which is like a seizure medication that treats mania. And guys, it did remove the ADHD, and it did fucking remove the like restlessness, right? But it also though made me like dull, okay? Because my mania, guys, is where I come up with my great ideas. It's where I come up with my creativity. It's where my passion to make shit comes from. It's from that mania, man. It's that relentless drive, that grind. And sure, sometimes my wheels spin and I chew up hours or maybe even a couple days just spinning in the dirt. And there are like times where it gets overwhelming and I have to pull back and rest. But like, I didn't like losing my creativity. I like my mania, right? I like my mania. I love it. What I needed to do, what I ultimately needed to do was I needed to get rid of the trauma. Okay. That's where the EMDR came in. I had to uncover and eradicate the trauma. So when I got into wheel spinning, I wasn't doing some type of self-harm or negative, like impeding behavior. I had to get rid of the self-destructive behaviors. Okay. And become more aware of what triggered me and shit so I could fucking, you know, explore my triggers without being harmful and, you know, causing damage to the things I was building. Okay. And then the other thing I had to do was I had to get sober and I had to develop a mental health regimen for being able to embrace like who I am without judgment. Okay. And that really started, guys, with studying Vipassana meditation. Okay. Because there's a thing, I'm going to share a thing here with you guys from Buddhism. Okay. And this, trust me when I tell you, this is the most important piece of information you're ever going to hear. And I got it for free from a Vipassana retreat, learning the insight meditation. It's the meditation that Buddha did. And what it is, guys, it's that thoughts are never a problem. Thoughts cause no harm. None of your thoughts are harmful. What is harmful is your self-judgment of your thoughts. And I'm telling you guys, when you can like put that into your living regimen, where you can look at your thoughts, you can look at your feelings, and you don't judge yourself for them. You just experience their existence without judgment. Shame disappears, okay? Like self-loathing disappears, okay? The ability to be like open and connect is opened up to you. You're freed in a way because you start to experience compassion for yourself, which gives you a greater ability to show compassion for other people. And then you judge them less, so they open up more to you and let you closer. And it really starts with you being able to realize that like anything that goes through your head is harmless, right? It's how you judge it and how you view it and how you like run with it. That is where the damage comes to you. And if you guys are interested in Vipassana, all right, I'm going to share this with you. Okay, right here, it's 𝗙𝗏𝗏.org. Okay, this is the National Vipassana website. Okay, let me just share this with you guys. All right, you ready? I'm going to tell you about this. There are organizations. Okay, 𝗙𝗏𝗏.org. There are Vipassana centers all over the U.S., all over the world. Okay. They're beautiful. They're maintained by people who've done the thing. It's a 10-day program. You go 10 days, no talking, no eye contact. Okay. There's no like masturbating, no devices. You meditate for about 12 hours a day. You walk and you eat home-cooked vegetarian, like vegan meals. It's free. Okay. You go there. You're a guest. You have a room, you fucking go to a meditation hall, they separate men and women. It's free. You eat free, you stay free, you meditate for free. At the end of it, you donate. You can donate $5, you can donate 5,000. There's one here in Washington, like 50 miles from here. It is hard, okay? It is hard. By day 7, you will lose your fucking mind. You will be climbing the walls. When you don't look people in the eyes and you don't like talk to anybody and you engage in meditation, like your real inner voices scream at you, it's very fucking like, it's a journey. But dude, is amazing. It's life-changing. And Vipassana meditation is great. It's really about insight. It's about noticing sensations on your body. And it's really good. It's amazing. It was really, really fucking incredible. All right. I highly recommend it. All right. I do. It was life-changing for me. But man, dude. All right. All right. Back to this. We're going to finish this up and then we're going to dance, guys. Okay. So Assemblies of God is one of the most dynamic forces in global Christianity. Okay. 3 million members in the US, 90 million members worldwide. Okay. And here we go. In 1979, Illinois minister Alan Layman was accused of molesting 2 girls in his family. Okay. Rather than call police, the denomination's state district council suspended his credentials, placed him in a 2-year restoration program, which included meetings with the psychologist. Although the girls were elementary school age, his ministerial file described the misconduct as indiscretions with a young woman. Okay? The denomination received regular updates in July of 1980. He was restored. And 1 year later, 4 months ahead of schedule, he had been fully rehabilitated. Okay? This is Alan Layman. He abused 2 girls in his family. He was fully rehabilitated. With that stamp of approval, he transferred to Louisville, Kentucky, and then soon there were more allegations. All right. He then abused 3 other young relatives who visited his home on church trips. Okay. Each girl said the abuse began when she was 6, continued all the way into her teens. Okay. Oh my God. She told police he abused her with a baseball bat, beat her with a leather strap, and choked her, telling her love has to hurt. Years later, his adult son, also a pastor, reported him to the police. He told investigators he discovered the denomination had covered up his father's offenses. Łyman pleaded guilty to child rape in 2018. He was given a 15-year suspended prison sentence and set free on probation, dude. Dude, after all this, he got a suspended sentence. 15 years, but he never had to serve it. They let him out on probation. Survivors sued the Assemblies of God. They called him by phone and he said, not interested, right? Dude, this is so toxic, okay? And then in Landmark Christian Center in Downey, there's somebody who abused 2 boys, right? I mean, dude, it's just over and over and over again. But again, these church delegates have done nothing to protect these victims, okay? And then here we go. A Florida church let a man lead a Royal Rangers troop 2 decades after his conviction for child molestation. In Indiana, a church hired a janitor convicted of molesting a 7-year-old girl. A Pennsylvania congregation employed a counselor despite his conviction for sexually abusing 2 brothers. All of those men went on to abuse again. Every single one of them. Okay? In New Jersey, the Eternal Life Christian Center hired Sean Butler despite a conviction for sexually assaulting girls. And then the church gave him unfettered access. Oh, shit. Dude, what the fuck was that, bro? The church gave him unfettered access to children for decades, and he abused 3 more people. This guy. As a youth minister, he groomed teens to believe God spoke through him. Then he exploited his divine authority to abuse them. He made himself seem almost like he had these special powers and saying that God sent him to do these things. And if you didn't do them, you were going to be in trouble spiritually. Guys, that is so toxic. Okay? Isn't that crazy? Dude, that is like the lowest of the fucking low, guys. And their rehabilitation program has operated in secrecy. Okay, they keep all the records confidential, right? Dude, they do a spiritual rehab where they move from confession to renewal on the path to back to God's glory. Okay? Dude, see this shit. And guys, this is one of the fundamental problems with Christianity and these religions, okay? Is this simplistic redemption, okay? Because the thing about it is not everybody in religion is an abuser, okay? It's true. Not everybody in religion is an abuser. However, abusers are naturally drawn to religion, okay? And you know why they're drawn to religion? For a number of reasons. One, when they're wearing a cross, they're trusted. They're people, vulnerable people let them in when they have a cross on because it marks them as a good guy, okay? They're given a veil of trust that is exploitable. Two, if they fuck up, they can pray and repent and fucking go through this whole, oh my God, I'm so genuinely sorry about this. And they get rebirth. Okay. And there's a fundamental acceptance that you're a sinner and it's okay to be a sinner. You just have to keep repenting. And so for abusers, it allows them a place where they can run through their shame cycle, get that redemption, and then they're automatically able to take advantage of people because they're a trusted entity. So it creates an environment that is perfect for abusers to manipulate. It is like abusers, most abusers will get involved with religion or a church. Not all people in church are abusers, but I'm telling you, man, predatory abusers, they love being in the church. And they love it. Dude, I had an uncle who was a predator abuser like that, and he was literally voted the man of the year in his fucking church, and he was abusing his kids the whole time, man. He was so brutal. He was like the most brutal abuser I've ever encountered in my life, and that motherfucker was voted man of the year like 4 times in his church. He lived in a house attached to the church lot. He was revered, and in his house, he was harming his kids like you could not imagine. And now he's a total MAGA shithead living in fucking Idaho. My Uncle Keith. Oh my God, dude, this guy's fucking despicable. Dude, I recently like reached out to him to find out about my dad when like my dad was like dying. And as soon as I saw that he was this MAGA guy and was like a shitter, I just fucking like erased him on Facebook. I was like, he was like, oh, I see we have different political beliefs, but we're family. And I was like, fuck you, bro. Dude, I don't care, family or no family. Like, you're already were kind of a despicable piece of shit to begin with, right? And the fact that you still are just a despicable piece of shit, probably never having fucking actually atoned for all the harm you caused your fucking, you know, your wife's children. They weren't even his kids. It was his wife, his girlfriend's kids that, dude, I saw some of the most horrific abuse you can imagine. It was like traumatizing for me to watch, man. Like, dude, my uncle was like just a terrible fucking human, bro. And if he were to, you know, suffer great pain in the rest of his life, it would not be undeserved, right? Brutal. I mean, it's just watching these people is sometimes brutal. But, all right. This is crazy, guys. All right. So, dude, it's time, though. All right? It's time for me to go make some videos. Let's go. All right? You ready for a dance party? Let's get into it, guys. You guys got it. You guys made the dance party happen. Let's get into edit mode. All right. Let's go, everybody. Get your stretch going. Let's get limber. We're about to get a little deja vu, boss. Oh. Let's go, baby. Ooh, this is gonna be a good one. I'm ready. Hopefully you'll dance along. Let's get in it. Here we go, baby. Little deja vu.
They coming up slowly. This feeling that I have now, almost a bit holy. Notion that I will make it out somehow. Reputation away. If you need me, well, I need me too. All right, guys, let's fucking go, baby. All right, dude, 𝗙cie𝗶𝗆𝗆, let's go. Thank you, boss. Thank you again for a great stream. I love you guys. I will see you tomorrow. Let's get radiant. Good night. I just wanna change the world. I just want the perfect girl. I don't wanna hang around, I'd rather be found. It gets better, I wonder, my pleasure together. Everyone's waiting, anticipating. Change the world, but I'm not gonna wait my turn. I don't ever want to come down, I'd rather be found. It gets better, I wonder, my pleasure together.